Boy, oh boy, did we need that. Oh my God. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Leicester City have just got 3 points. The first 3 points of 2022. It's so good. Burnley 0, Leicester 2. It feels so good to talk positively about this team. It wasn't a perfect performance, but the performance was there and the 3 points were there. You can say we rode our luck at times. We'll have obviously, hopefully, Ant joining in a second as well. However, Leicester City win for the first time in 2022 in the Premier League. Coming into this game, we'll go back to the formation, kind of a 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1. We're looking at it going, okay, 4-3-3, and you're looking at Barnes, Daka or Brighton, Ndidi, Tillemans, KDH, Thomas, Amati, Sionchu, Ricardo. You're looking at that going, okay, what can we do in terms of performance and how that works? With Daka, I was thinking there's two main people that missed out. One was Maddison, and the other one was Lookman as well. Surprised that they dropped both of them. And I thought if Brendan Rodgers gets this wrong, we're in the world of hurt. And I'll try and bring Ant in a second. Ant, are you there? You just see your screen. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know why my camera's not turning on for some reason.
Okay, no worries. First of all, what are your initial impressions of that game?
I don't know. It's a weird one. I don't want to get carried away because, like, the lads, it's Tottenham. It feels like it's lads, it's Burnley. Yeah. But 3 points on the road, a clean sheet, like, you've got to take the positives. And I sound like a broken record from every game we've won this season. It's now about building upon that. I think the positives are the fact that we've got Vardy back, and you saw the instant impact that made.
Yeah,
and then also having, I think, Ricardo playing 45 minutes and slowly being managed back in instead of being rushed in. So is Rodgers slowly learning?
Yes, let's hope so, because again, it's something I just mentioned. I only mentioned it on Twitter before the game started. The fact that he dropped, because Brighton comes into the team, and also, who else comes into the team? Well, technically Barnes for Maddison and Lookman. We were just saying that before you arrived. Looking at that, going, if Brendan doesn't get this right, he's in a world of hurt.
He is, and first half, I put it out on Twitter saying that it was a strange decision to drop your two most informed players in terms of Lookman and Maddison. And if we'd gone 1-0 down, I think it could have gone very sour today. But you've got to give credit where it's due. We've all been very objective of Brendan Rodgers, and I think had good reason to. But when he gets it right, like he does tonight, and hopefully, I'm not one of those fans who wants to see Rodgers fail, by the way. I think they're very minority. I'd love nothing more to see him than to see him turn it around. So when he gets it right, as he's done tonight, you've got to give him credit and say fair play to him. He was absolutely bang on. And I want to say as well, whilst we're on about players that get criticised a bit, I think Sionchu tonight had a really solid game against one of the more difficult sort of strikers in the league to play in terms of workhorse. Because we've seen him bullying some proper decent centre backs since he's been here, and Sionchu gave him absolutely no change today.
Yeah, no, totally agree. And the way he went about performing, I think, was fantastic as well. I think that in terms of Leicester City, the way we played again, I was looking at a couple of statistics before we came into the game. It could have all gone wrong for Brendan Rodgers, considering we are winless, and that we know after a certain amount of games they do tend to pull the trigger. But from the moment one, from the first half, I mean, you got to be honest, but Pope made some outstanding saves. I mean, the Ricardo save, the Daka save from the header that Tarkowski missed, and it was just points. I was like, right, okay, well, we're playing some good football, but it doesn't mean anything unless we get the points. And I think that's what's made this performance even better. The fact that Pope had a great game based on fantastic saves throughout the match, but we managed to get the 3 points in the end. And because of that journey, it actually made him that much. I think that the result means that much more.
It does, and I think we could have easily won that game, as you say. Like there was a lot of very good saves during that game, and we could have easily gone sort of 1-2 up in the first half. But it just felt like that it was going to be typical Leicester from sort of like we'll have a lot of chances, but then Burnley could very easily go 1-0 up after wasting so many chances, and it would have. The thing is, it's for one team you don't want to go 1-0 down against at home as well. So the fact that we didn't do that and we managed to get the goal, that was the important thing.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And even after that, so when they gave away the goal, a couple of people like I think what's it called? Luke Thomas didn't have one of his best games, but all in general, again, somebody put it. I think the Ghanaian excellence had a great game. Ricardo, I think, did well defensively. Suyuncu, again, I think he did well defensively. Luke Thomas was okay in some parts. But defensively, we're still open, but we're slowly there's some signs that it might improve. Again, I know what the comment's going to be, but we are getting there a little bit at a time.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And you don't, as you say, you don't want to like get too carried away with it. I think the thing is, enjoy this win for what it is. We haven't won away much at all this season, but the real important thing is now to back it up on Saturday. Is it Sunday? Whenever we play Leeds, that's the important one now. That we've got to back it up with that and then follow it. We need to start building from this. If it's a one-off win against relegation threatened, well, currently in the relegation zone, Burnley, then yeah.
And let's not forget, coming into this game, they were on a run of form. They had a win against, I can't remember who, win against Brighton, win against Tottenham, and they could have had more goals than Tottenham, 1-0, and then a draw against Watford. So they were coming into form coming into this game. The fact we managed to keep them quiet is massive. It did again, but at times it was a pretty even game. Let's be honest. For the most part, I think Burnley played well. Aaron Lennon, I think, one time turned Luke Thomas in one bit. We are defensively still quite open, but we were playing some good attacking football that was quite free flowing. It wasn't perfect, especially in the first half, but I think there was some definite signs that we could go on to get something. But we've said that so many times this season, Ant, that if we come out of the game 1-0 down, we're not mentioning these points.
No, that's it. And like we could have, as you say, if we came out this 1-0 down and we'd wasted all these chances, we're having a completely different conversation. But it was fact we played well, but like the thing is, we could have played atrociously and got 3 points today. The main thing was that we got those 3 points.
Yeah. And the thing is, even at 1-0, I was thinking, okay, we could still lose this because we've done it in the past. We've thrown away a win and we've got a draw, or we've got thrown away again in the Tottenham game. We had a win and we turned it into 0 points in general. So the fact is now that we've got that, certain players to shout out again. Just go through that starting lineup and some of the players to mention, because I think one player that surprised me, I think that was really awesome. Wilfred Ndidi, he's not back to his top best, but there was signs that he's coming back into. I'll put him as a 7 out of 10, which is a lot better than what he's been doing for a lot of the season. Wilfred Ndidi for me is one of them that I've got to mention because he was fantastic. He was great today, and that's not the Wolf that we've seen the majority of the season.
No, and it's like you say, it's not back to his best, but it's that progress and the slowly getting back to it. And I think the fact that he's playing more with Dewsbury Hall now, and it's a little bit more of a settled midfield with Dewsbury Hall and Tielemans instead of being a different midfield partner each week. So I think building those partnerships is going to be really important.
Yeah, no, exactly. And speaking of the partnership between Barnes, especially in the first half, Barnes and Dewsbury Hall down that left-hand side, I thought was really promising, and there looked like there could be some real progress there. Obviously, probably them playing together in the academy helped a lot.
Yeah, I don't know how much they actually played with each other when they were in the academy, but as you say, it's just like those partnerships are so key to building sort of anything long term.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and we've just got to increase those partnerships all over the pitch. Brendan Rodgers has again kind of kept a settled back four, but he had to change that at half time. Again, I'm not sure why he took Ricardo off, But from what we're hearing, again, don't quote me on this exactly, but from what we understand, and it tends to be, I think it's just a precaution, just to build Ricardo into the game more, isn't it?
You've got to hope so, but we'll have to wait for the press conference because with Brendan Rodgers, genuinely, who knows?
And with our injury record as well,
Oh,
anything can happen. But yeah, so there was some good points. Again, I put before the match as well. Daka, I didn't think had his best game. I think this was the kind of game to really introduce him to the Premier League, because this is the kind of physicality that you'll have to come up against Tarkowski and Ben Mee. And I think he looked a bit isolated at times, and when we were on the counter, he wasn't quite there. But I'm not. I've just put my next comment. He will be better next year. I think it's just going to take time for him to get back into. He's done fantastically, but I think the ceiling is so high that he's just going to take time to develop, and I'm more than happy to give him that time.
Yeah, I think you agree, and I think when you're comparing him to Vardy as well, as you say, the standard is so high, sort of what you're being compared to, and he's done well, but it's going to take him time to become like the main number 9 and really, really cement that place. And he's done well in that period. But when Vardy came on, just the intelligence of the runs that he makes and the movement that he makes, it showed sort of the level of class and experience between them. But Daka he's one that's very much he's here for the now, but also very much for the future.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And with I think we were speaking. I think listening to interviews with some of the managers, and even Pat Daka, when he goes, Jamie Vardy was a big reason why he moved here, and the quality that he brings as well. So he will get there. He's not there yet, but again, as you were saying, the standards are so high with Jamie Vardy. It's going to be hard to replace him. But the future is really, really bright with him. Again, another one later. Again, part kid who's on the left. Then Pride goes right back. I was thinking, okay, this could be a sort of our defensive problems. But I think somebody put in the comments below. Let me try and find it. The Ghanaian excellence stepped up once again. He's not the biggest leader, biggest shouter, but I think he played well today. Well, probably our best defender of the season so far.
Yeah, that's not saying a lot, is it? But
let's not talk negatively out of the Ghanaian excellence. He's here to best defender.
Yeah, he did what he had to do though, didn't he, today?
Yeah.
And that's what he's done for a lot of the season. He's nothing like particularly flashy or like over the top, but he did what he had to.
Okay, just looking at some of the comments now as well. David, again, thanks for the update, David. As Roger said, Pereira felt a hamstring, so they have to sub him off. That's a real devastation. Really, really big devastation, which I'm not happy about.
What, Ricardo's done his hammy?
Yeah, said felt his hamstring, which I don't know if that means he can't take a break from injuries. He really can't. And bearing in mind they rested him, which I think was the right decision against the Randers game away. But man, this guy can't catch a break.
He can't catch a break. But we don't know how bad it is.
Yeah.
But let's take the positive of it. Before, Rodgers would have played him for a full 90 minutes and then assessed him. So the fact that he took him off at half time as soon as he felt it, let's try and take it as a positive that he's learning from the injury mistakes that he's made before.
Yeah, definitely agree. Just looking at this first calendar win of the Premier League, just from Ethan. Thank you for getting your comments in. I haven't felt as optimistic in a while. I know, man. It's felt ages since we had our last win. Bearing in mind it was the 26th of December, so it was last year for the win against Liverpool. And yeah, so just some good performances overall. And then one of the ones, okay, we'll go on to some of the solutions. Obviously, we mentioned Ricardo for Lookman, and then Lookman had to come on, and O'Brien's right back. The next one, again, Daka for Vardy, I understand. The one that I found strange was Tielemans for Maddison. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not here to criticise because it worked at the end of the day, and credit where it's due. It works. It's one of the things, if it doesn't work, Brendan Rodgers get absolutely slated. But Tielemans, taking off Tielemans for Maddison, it was a bit of a weird substitution at the time, don't you think?
It was, but what do we know? It's worked. So
I'm not here to criticise, go, oh, how dare you? But it's more of go, at the time I was like, oh, if he gets this wrong, we're talking about it on this show and we're criticising why have you done this.
Yeah, it could have it could have backfired massively, but I think getting Maddison on it got us, and I think Maddison and Vardy. I think it was both of those coming on at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It got us onto the front foot a little bit more, and it almost made Burnley take that 10 meters back and be that little bit more cautious. And I do think though that is more to do with Vardy than Maddison. But Maddison's goal, what a strike that was! But,
I mean, it was unbelievable. Again, he comes on. Another, what was it called? Another one, I forgot. The other point, another amazing save by Pope. And then after that, a minute later, after that stop by Pope, we started thinking, can we take our chances? Why aren't we taking them? Maddison, it was a great goal at the time, and I've crossed it out, but beautiful goal. I mean, he took that so well. You thinking in that position, it was a great setup, and he took it, I think, with his left foot. He curled it round, and it had to take something special to beat Pope, because there's been so many opportunities where Pope saved so many goals. In this game, that goal was sensational.
It was, and saying about
Nick, the goal of the season, I think.
Ooh, it could be. I think Tielemans at Brentford wins that for us.
I said at the moment, it's up there with goal of the season.
Oh yeah, definitely. But Nick Pope, what a keeper, man! With all due respect to Burnley, I reckon if he wasn't playing at Burnley, he'll be England's number one. But
yeah,
it's like we know how it is, and Burnley even lower in the pecking order than us for players in the England squad. Mm-hmm. It's all about like which club you play for. But he is England's at least best shot stopper. You could argue Ramsdale's the best sort of overall keeper. But
that makes sense. Well, there isn't really much to choose from, is there? There's Ramsdale, there's Pope, there's Pickford, which obviously is nowhere near that. I think that's about it in the Premier League.
Yeah, but I feel like we're missing someone really obvious, but I don't know.
Yeah, if anybody, again, that's the whole. Leave your thoughts if it's not them three in the comments down below. Maybe McCarthy from Southampton would be another one, but there's no like real standout people.
From a barrel there, aren't we?
Yeah, in terms of Premier League keepers, there isn't really a lot. What have we said as well? And somebody said Amate is brilliant, and I was like, I'm all here for that prop Montre as well. So for a big guy, Weghorst winning headers, I was surprised how good he was with his feet, which was really good. But again, that's kind of Vestergaard. I say the same thing all the time. It's the point where I think it was against the Randers match at home, we won 4-1, yeah. And and he won a header, and everybody sarcastically cheered, which was quite funny. And then again, so Weghorst, again, just a minute later, it's like we rode our luck a little bit with the Cornet goal, which could have been given offside, but the other one as well with the Weghorst, where for somehow he didn't get that ball in, and I saw the net ripple, and I thought it was in, but the whole goal shook. But again, they didn't take the chances, and that's not our problem. We did take our chance again. KDH to Barnes, and then over to Vardy, and I've just put Vardy is inevitable. He comes in, he barely plays any minutes, and I think obviously took his goal well. We'll get onto that, but also the way he was linking play. We haven't got anybody that could really do it like him, have we?
No, there's only one Jamie Vardy. Like,
yeah.
I think the fact as well that after coming on to 10 minutes, gets an assist, scores, and then runs over to a Burnley fans like signaling 2-0. There is only one Vardy.
There is only one Vardy. I totally agree. Just looking at the top scorers now at the moment, Jamie Vardy is in joint fourth with Son and Raheem Sterling, considering he's been out for 2 months or about 2 months as well now. Again, I don't think he'll catch Salah on 19. However, 19 and 10 assists, that's absolutely unbelievable. Anyway, then you got Jota and Mane. So Liverpool absolutely smashing it. And then but in terms of that, Jamie Vardy coming back from injury, goal conversion rate 31%, 25 for Salah, 24, 24, 24, 31%. I mean that's incredible, and how he's performing as well. So just have to give a shout out to Jamie Vardy and the way he liked to play, and also the way he took his goal. It wasn't anything special, but it was just typical Jamie Vardy.
It's that timing of the run into a box, though. He peeled off the last defender in anticipation that something might fall for him. And That's what I was saying about earlier. The difference in between Daka and Vardy is that sort of intelligence and what I don't want to say intelligence because that makes it sound as if Daka's like not right. Because Daka can make some very good runs and stuff, but I'd say that wherewithal of like knowing where to be and that sort of, as Ethan says, that fox in the box that can sort of like. I think that's a brilliant way to put it. Of sort of knowing exactly where to be at the right time.
Yeah. So again, apologies. My throat's kind of messed. So I've got a bit of a cold, hence the scarf and stuff. So that's why my voice sounds like I've been. Well, it's like Sean Dyche at the moment. Another one as well. Yeah, it's Sam Johnson in the Championship from I think he's at West Brom.
Oh, I don't know. Did you see him yesterday? He had a howl.
I didn't watch the match, but it's just Steve Bruce. I don't believe him as a manager. Still don't know how he got the England job, the Newcastle job, but that's because how terrible Newcastle was run. Dean Henderson, yeah, could be, but he can't even get into the first team there, so could be. But yeah, I think in terms of that, it's just it feels so good to win, and also I think in terms of the performance and the stats for this game as well. Let me have a look. Trying to find them at the moment, but it's not popping up. I'll try and find them as I go along. But we had a decent performance. And we kept it up for the majority of the match. I'd say for the first 45, we were competent, and then about I'd say until about 70 minutes, we weren't quite performing. I think the Vardy and Maddison substitution really, really helped that as well. But we've been saying that for a while, and we put a performance in for a full 90 minutes. We haven't this time, but we put it in for 70, I'd say, over the 90, and that's great.
That's great, but it's Burnley, so you don't want to get too carried away because.
Mate, do you know what? How many times have we been on here for the Wolverhampton game, this, and with even with the Randers game, it's 3-1, and we're going right. What do we do now? You're looking, going right. What can we? There's so many things to complain about. Do you know what? Since we've got something to talk about, we will wipe the slate clean. And obviously, we're coming into the Leeds game at the weekend and how that's going to work. But we're coming into this going right. We've got something positive. Let's shout about it, and that's why we're doing it. We won't get carried away because again, we've not had back-to-back wins in the Premier League this season. But I think what this does as well, in terms of the points, it puts us at that little bit up the table as well. I'll bring it on the table in a second, but what do you think about that in terms of 3 points? That's all we needed today.
Yeah, it's the worrying thing is like we were dropping like a stone towards the relegation zone, and like that gives us some breathing room. And I still think that like top 8 is probably not doable anymore if we're being completely honest. Which was
10
what
points. 10 points for Wolves in 8th.
Oh, maybe actually, because we've got 2 games in hand, but it would need a real turnaround in form, wouldn't we? But I think it's just about salvaging it now and getting up as high as we can.
Yeah, and you're right. And I think with people like, again, I don't want to put all our eggs in one basket, but with Vardy coming back, if Vardy can play that role and just play the 30 minutes, don't try and kill him, leave the Conference League and bring him on in the last 10 minutes to try and score the goals, for example. Play him like that, and then play Daka and Iheanacho where we can as well. Another thing as well, with Wes Fofana coming back, that will help defensively, but again, he's got to be nursed in. James Justin's going back. Ricardo's hopefully going to come back as well. Oh, I know we've said the injuries don't help, but I think that will increase the morale as well.
Yeah, that's it. It's all about, as you say, the morale and the confidence from here. And I think that's a huge thing that's dropped over the last few weeks and months. And like when we're a team that play with confidence, we can beat anyone on our day. 100%. But we've also got in us to lose to absolutely anyone on our day when the confidence isn't there.
Yeah, no, totally agree with that. A couple of things. So again, in terms of that, obviously that puts us again just 12th position, 30 points, the same as Crystal Palace and Aston Villa. However, Aston Villa played 25 games, Crystal Palace have played 27. But 3 points ahead of them are Brighton, and they've played 26. So again, I think Ethan's put in the comments as well. Get half 10, get top half in Conference League for if we can win Conference League again. That was Ren's going to be a hard shout, but I think this needs to be the target for sure.
I think I think we don't. I don't think we could have drawn a much harder team, to be honest, in the Conference League. But it's what you were saying to me. I think this was off camera. It's like if we're going to win it, we're going to have to play the best teams at some point. So might as well.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of when we won the FA Cup, we had to play Man United midweek. We had to make Man United in the quarters or the last, or before the quarters, or I can't remember. We had to play them anyway. You have to, and then we had to play. What's it called? We had to play Chelsea in the final. So it's not just an easy run. It will be hard along the way. Again during that, I think we played. We didn't play Brighton in the FA Cup.
Yeah, we played Brighton in the FA Cup because Iheanacho scored that header, didn't he? Right at the end when it was freezing, and said he couldn't be bothered to go to extra time.
Yeah, for some reason I thought it was the year before, but no, you're right. Yeah, again, this builds confidence with the players coming back, with the players just going, okay, thank God we've got 3 points away at Burnley. This puts us in a better position. I think all these things, hopefully, when we come into this game, because you got to remember this Leeds game, again, we'll probably do a preview. We'll probably have the Roaring Peacock on and we'll do some collaborations there. But we'll be coming into this game because they're going to be distraught from losing probably the best person, the reason why they're in the Premier League in Bielsa, and their team is riddled with injuries and things like that as well. So it's not going to be easy because new manager bounce. However, we've got to go, and again, hopefully the crowd can get behind the team and we can really go and do something at Leeds because they are a tough team, and we've been turned over by them before, but we've turned them over. So it's kind of like you don't know.
The thing is, they've been shocking this year, but it's just but they've got a new manager. You know what they'll be like, that new manager bounce, and it's just about having to play the occasion and sort of trying to kill that energy from Bunrley from having that new manager bounce. Mm-hmm. But it's Leeds, and we know they'll like 4-5-0 down. They'll be still running themselves into the ground. So, like first and foremost against them, and I'm sure we'll have a preview show more to talk about it. But the most simple thing you've got to do against Leeds is match their work rate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know anything about the manager that's going to come in, or is apparently, I don't know, allegedly come in or he's coming. So we'll have to see. He's already been confirmed. He's been confirmed. So I don't know how many tactics can you actually do in 5 days, and you could overhaul such a stringent way of playing and stuff like that. We'll have to see. Any final thoughts before we finish? And it feels really good to win, and just good performance over the pitch, and just 3 points, man. We just needed it, but it helps that the performance goes along with it as well, and a clean sheet. Just great, really, overall.
Yeah, it's just
it's surreal, isn't it?
It feels like we shouldn't be talking about a clean sheet, does it? It's been so long.
Dilly din, dilly dong. We'll go for pizza. We'll celebrate that one, mate. For pizza as well.
Sounds all right, doesn't it?
Yeah, sounds all right. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Again, we'll try and be back doing some more videos and stuff. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe. Make sure you go and check out Ant's channel. Again, link is in the description for you. And then we'll see everybody in the next video. So goodbye.